back to our live feed. This is definitely a test run, so it's probably going to have a bunch of blooper type stuff happening. But shout out to Blake Baraka. He's manning the OBS right now, making the live stream happen.
Homie Blake.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Slim Gravy. He's been doing all of our graphics this year, and he's just been straight killing it. So this OBS overlay.
Slim Gravy.
What happened?
I hear you.
Sorry. So anyway, yeah, he's been killing the stuff. So this OBS overlay that you see is his work as well. So definitely hit him up if you're trying to live stream or anything like that, and you want some kind of custom border or any of that kind of stuff. So. All right, Razzie. Well, you're back. Let's go ahead and let you finish kind of what you were talking about earlier. I think I had asked you about opening this up, internationally online, and how you think that will help artists.
I didn't even hear that part of it. My bad, everybody. The call dropped. So I've been in the waiting room for like 15. But you said open it up internationally?
Yeah, I mean, with using an online platform, that kind of makes it, pretty much international.
Yeah, not pretty much. It definitely is. I think it's the magic in a bottle that you guys have there. Other people could only before this, they could only see it, by going to visit, and now you get to open it up. I'm because when I posted it, like the script that you gave me was kind of, who would be America's, master of the mic. And the cool thing is that other people hit me from around the world. And it was like, well, what about if he's from Canada? I'm from Canada, or, I'm from Spain. So I was like, well, actually, yeah. It may not be, the master of the mic who's American. So it's dope. You've actually expanded the horizons for it. So I'm looking forward to see how it turns out. I don't know, if those particular people have registered, but I encourage people from everywhere to, join the community.
Well, we did have the guy from Canada did sign up, and he's competing. So it's officially
awesome.
an international competition now. So
I give y'all props for that too, Kelly, because with the situation that we're in with, the pandemic and whatnot, like the real creatives are really showing their skill. And instead of looking at this as something that would have been a setback, y'all have now got the mindset of expanding. You know what I mean? So that's definitely good, foresight on y'all's part to do that.
Well, thank you. I've always wanted this to be a national competition, but trying to set up venues all across America on the same page, plus you have to get funding for that, marketing and stuff like that, has proven to be very difficult. But so this is kind of, I wouldn't say this has been an easier transition to making it, outside of Dallas, because there's a lot more that goes into putting on an event of this type than like just showing up to an actual show.
Right.
So I'll never take being able to put on a live show for granted anymore. But it's a whole different animal. But yeah. So now, Raz, as far as an artist who's competing and you're the judge, what are the things that you look for?
Delivery. Just overall stage presence.
Okay, so with that, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So as far as like a stage, since we're doing this on an online type platform, how do you see that being different? Like, do you think that people might need it? Like, how would they prepare for that, in your opinion?
I mean, that's tricky. How do you? I mean, some people are naturals in front of cameras. I happen to be somebody who's not. I'm, me live, I think, or me in person is a different persona, or not even persona, just aura-wise. So it may work to some people's advantage. Other people, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm always looking for what are you saying and how are you saying it? That's more important than bells and trinkets. I mean, your raw, sheer talent is kind of what, this culture is about, whether it's DJing, rapping, graffiti, whatever you do. So you know, the bells and whistles don't, you know, are secondary, but they definitely, you know, they are factors. Um, I don't know. I've been on a couple of live streams, like performing wise, and you know, you hear about the people who they feel like killed it. You know, like so and so. Chubb Rock was like on a beach. I'm not near a beach, so if I'm performing my song and there's, you know, seagulls and, you know, coconuts, it might look flyer. I mean, but some people, you know, you got to use what you got to get what you want at the end of the day. So, you know, whatever, create the best environment you can. Pull a titty out.
Honestly, Callie, that was one of the first things that I thought about, you know, when I saw and heard that it was going to be, you know, streamed and, you know, virtual. That was my main concern, is like, how are the performers going to really convey that quality
Yeah.
live performance and stage presence when they're not actually on stage? You know what I mean? Um, my opinion, and I don't know, I mean, I'm not an artist or whatever, and in order to like really get into the zone and convey that type of energy, um, I would want to have my environment that I'm recording in more in that kind of like dark studio type mode. You know what I mean? Like where it's like an intimate setting there where you're at, you know, to where you're like in that, you know, you go into some studios and it just seems like they're set up for creativity. You know what I mean? Like it needs to feel like you're in the booth on like old school rap shit, you know, because that kind of puts you in that competitive, aggressive mindset. Is that making any sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Because if your environment wherever you're at is too serene, that might end up coming off, you know, through your performance. So I would just advise any other artist that whatever settings or surroundings you need to have your game face on or whatever, go do your stream from that location. You know, if it's a basement, if it's an attic, if it's your closet, if it's your homeboy studio, wherever you got to go to get that competitive mentality going, that's where you need to be, because otherwise it's going to be, you're not going to have people there and the energy from all the people to draw upon, you know?
Right.
Well, and Tony, last year when we did the competition, we did have it kind of at a studio setting. How different was that for you performing, like basically with the glass between you and your audience, you know, versus, you know, being on stage?
I guess it it took out a lot of variables. You don't have that much space to work with. I remember when in the beginning they had the mic stand, and the contestants didn't know you could take the mic off the stand. So if everyone just had to stand there with the mic stand, it would have been a different competition. But somebody came in there and was like, can I just use the mic and not use the stand? And he had that bright idea, and I helped everybody out because then you're able to move. And but you know, not having like I guess an actual crowd and being on the stage, it was different, but not too different. I don't think it was too different.
Yeah, well, I think you had the good ability to perform behind the glass for sure, but I felt like some of the people, like they just, it's like, what do I do with my hands? You know what I mean? Because they don't have that like that audience energy coming in. So I think this will be kind of maybe the same effect, perhaps.
The people that stood out the most to me, and there was a lot of good talent, but there's 3 people I never forgot, and I didn't have to check any notes about to remember, oh yeah, that person was dope. And it was Everyday Tony, Mordecai Zena, and JQ Riser.
Yeah, Jay Riser, yeah.
Because that, like, he's, you know, and I'm sorry, Callie, if that's getting ahead of anything, but like,
no.
he is so original with everything that he did. Like, he looked, and you see that look he has in his eyes, like, dude looks crazy. You know what I mean? But I think he's somebody that you could drop in the studio with anybody, whether he's providing a beat or a hook or, you know, featuring on a track. Like, I think him in any studio, he makes the room better with his creativity. Tony is just a like high level lyricist and storyteller. You know what I mean? Like, and it comes so naturally that I kind of think Tony's ability is going to be able to come through wherever. he's performing that because it's going to be the same, you know. And Mordecai Zena, they stood out because them dudes is just like Jackass is all about fun. You know what I mean? And I mean
For
that
sure.
as a compliment. Like
It's the
they
Nah
might have
fam.
been who was the
Yeah,
they might
Nah
have been the
fam.
first ones to
Yeah.
get Nah fam. Yeah.
The Nah fam. Yeah,
Nah
they were
fam.
cool.
Yeah. They kind of embody just the fun of hip hop and not taking things like too seriously, but they have talent behind it. There's no gimmick or a fluke. So, you know, those three people, that last year's setting kind of helped them out, or they were able to let their talent shine through last year's setting. It wasn't holding back, you know, the qualities of their performance.
Yeah, you definitely have to be versatile as an artist and perform under any circumstances, you know. But then again, everybody's kind of better at one thing than the other. Now, Raz, as a professional artist, you know, this is what you've been doing for a long time. How is COVID affecting you right now?
I just kind of felt like I kind of posted about it like a month and a half ago. I just felt like this was an opportunity. You know, my heart goes out, you know, of course, to people that are directly affected and people who have passed, and, you know, people losing jobs and all that. But me personally, besides it like stopping my shows, you know, my travel. So I lost about some bags that hurt. You know, just internationally and even domestically, like that part hurt. But we just got to work. I mean, most of the people who I work with are, you know, business partners and friends and fam. So I'm still in the studio when I want to. I'm still shooting videos. I'm at work. Like I can't really allow this situation to stop me from handling what I need to handle. You know, if you got Drake money, you could sit in your mansion and post pictures of that. I don't. And if you're a middle artist that's lazy, I think it just kind of revealed that a lot of these artists are lazy anyway. I don't have the opportunity to be lazy. I got to go handle mine. So I got to work in double time, to be perfectly honest.
Well, and that's a good mindset to have too. I think it really caused a lot of people to figure out like, okay, now what? You know, like you had to kind of go inside, be creative, figure something out, you know, and just make it work for you.
Yeah.
Like they said, evolve with the times or get left behind, right?
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is we don't know when people get to go do shows and concerts for real. Like,
yeah.
So maybe that model, you know, there was a time when we couldn't live without vinyl or CDs. Like things change, and if you don't adapt to it, you will die. This is done. This might be the comment for the dinosaurs. So, I'm kind of like, you know, who know, like what do learn. You know, for me, I took the opportunity to try to improve myself. You know, we look at these young cats, sometimes we're a little critical of them, but the little dudes be producing their own tracks and recording themselves and editing their own video. You can't be mad, you know, that they were born in a generation where that's a given. Like the 10-year-old is on TikTok doing edits and freeze frames or whatever. You can't be mad, but there's no excuse for us not to get to it. So, you know, I'm in that part of it of, you know, getting
voiceover. If you know how to use voiceover.
My shit just started talking, my MacBook. That's the government.
Yeah, right.
The government is on it. But yeah, you know, I just got a DAW. You know, I used to produce, you know, earlier stuff I actually produced and co-produced. So it's like getting a, you know, digital audio workstation and learning how to program and, you know, and production, whatever. It's just, this is a great time to learn a language, do something, you know, do something, because you got nothing but time. You can only jerk off so much.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Like everybody should come out of this having added something new to their skill set.
To their tool, but yeah, add a new tool.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse. no excuse not to. And like you said, it's just a matter of evolving. Like one thing over the years that has always, and anybody that's had a private conversation with me knows this, it's always pissed me off when I've heard people try to say that something's dead, be it a genre or a neighbor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like things don't die, they just change and evolve. And you can choose whether or not you're going to evolve with it. Like a lot of times when people say something
Right.
dead, that means that they can't relate to the changes with something that are being made, and they've decided to tap out. But they want it to be done with just because they decided to be done with. That's
Right.
not how the world works. Things don't die. You just choose whether or not you still want to participate.
Right.
The industry is going to go on into that. Like, and it took me a lot of years. Like, growing up, I wanted to work, in the old style major label system. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be an A&R in that system. And when the internet came and blew up the whole business model, I kind of felt that way. I was like, oh man, the stuff I wanted to do, that ain't even gonna be around no more. And what happened? Like I checked out and the game kept running without me. You know what I mean? So you just gotta change and roll with it. And sometimes when people tap out, maybe you didn't really have a passion for it, or it wasn't for you in the first place,
That's right.
For sure. I definitely have some thoughts on that whole conversation. Well, Razzie, is there anything else that you want to plug before you go back to your COVID life?
No, just pleasure seeing everybody and meeting some people, and I look forward to launching this first. Everything's now going to be AC after COVID, so
That's the truth.
Right.
Yeah. But everybody be well, and thanks for having me. Sorry about the dropout.
Oh, you're fine.
We need to figure out a contingency plan, like who do I call if
right.
Like,
everybody have a digital backup, virtual backup, like a lifeline.
Yeah, for sure.
Lifeline.
Well, actually, it was good that happened because it changed like our whole frame, and so this is, like I said, this is definitely a test run. So I'm hoping all the mistakes happen tonight so that we can have smooth sailing next week.
Have everybody just with like a lifeline, like the old game show. But here's the thing, to just put the entertainment in it. Like my lifeline, I'm gonna pick just the most random cousin that I ain't talked to in like forever, just Joe Blow. And if I drop out, that's who you dealing with. Like that idea.
That's awesome. All right, you guys. I'm adios.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and go to break, and then we're gonna bring on Abby and Rude. And yeah, I didn't mean for him to go right then, but it's okay. We're gonna go to break, and we'll have Abrude and Alsace on. So we'll talk to y'all soon.